destroying homes.
This is a mess.
While powerful wind and hail wreak havoc. And those wildfires raging in the west, closing in on entire neighborhoods in California.
Breaking news, one of the Pope's top advisors charged with sexual assault, now taking a leave of absence. The highest-ranking Vatican official ever to face these accusations, now firing back this morning.
The clock ticking as Republican senators race to draft a new health care bill by tomorrow. The president makes a new promise.
We could have a big surprise with a great health care package.
As President Trump's right-hand man, one of his closest aides, gets drawn into the Russia investigation.
And home run hero, Tim Tebow's big moment at bat. The rising Mets star sending a 92-mile-an-hour fastball soaring.
Put the bat on the ball and hit it hard, and was thankful I could get one out tonight.
Getting one step closer to the major leagues.
Live in Times Square, this is GMN with Robin Roberts, George Stephanopoulos, and Michael Strahan.
Tim Tebow hit it out of the house. He's a good friend of our program. Let's see that moment once again. He just got promoted. What a great way for Timmy to celebrate.
The way ball players talk, put the bat on the ball, hit it hard.
He sounds just like that.
And it is crunch time in the Capitol right now. There you see a live shot. Republican senators trying to craft a new version of Obamacare repeal by tomorrow, but it is going slow. We have some new polls this morning showing the public just isn't buying it.
We're going to have more on that in a moment, but first we want to get to that tornado threat out of the Midwest. More than 24 reported twisters tearing across 4 states. ABC's Alex Perez starts us off in Wisconsin. Good morning, Alex.
Hey, good morning, Robin. A lot of the damage happened after dark, so many people are just now getting a chance to assess what happened. Now, that powerful storm ripped right through this garage, tearing down the walls and sucking this big truck out, flipping it over.
Hurry, tornado.
Dangerous twisters tearing through the heartland.
But I think it's coming this way.
26 reported tornadoes touching down across 4 states Wednesday, from Iowa to Wisconsin.
Oh, it's hitting the ground now.
The storms bringing massive hail, toppling trees and destroying homes.
This is, fury of nature type of stuff.
One family,
It hit like that.
narrowly escaping before a tornado tore the roof off of their house. This morning, the massive cleanup underway. Crews working to clear roads and help those who lost everything.
It's just like the world had ended.
This as wildfires wreak havoc in the west, more than a dozen structures destroyed in southern Utah.
I ask you guys all to leave.
And the Goodwin fire in Arizona quadrupling in size on Wednesday, firefighters forced to pull back for fear of their safety. So the cleanup here is just getting started, but to complicate things, many parts of the Midwest today bracing for another round of strong storms. George?
Okay, Alex, thanks very much. We do want to get more on those wildfires out west. Rob Marciano has that.
Hey, George, 40 of them. So we've been expanding this number, and we've hot and dry conditions across the Intermountain West. Red flag warnings are still in effect for that area. And some of that wind energy from those fires is now into the plains. That's where we got the severe weather yesterday, and that's where we're going to have the severe weather today. We have a severe thunderstorm watch that's out for much of northern Kansas, and a flash flood watch that's out for Kansas City and parts of Missouri, and the threat extends today across the plains, and tomorrow it's going to actually get into the Great Lakes, and we're getting closer to the holiday weekend, so that may impact some of the plans of our viewers. We'll talk more about that later in the program. Robin?
Okay, Rob, thank you. Now to that breaking news, one of the Pope's top advisors facing sexual assault charges this morning, Cardinal George Pell, the highest-ranked Vatican official ever to face these accusations. Our foreign correspondent, James Longman, has that story for us. Good morning, James.
Good morning, Robin. Yes, a stunning development overnight. The man considered the 3rd highest ranking official in the Catholic Church is charged with multiple counts of sexual assault. George Pell is a senior cardinal from Australia and is in charge of Vatican finances, which makes him a close advisor to the Pope. Now, we don't have much detail yet of the allegations, but they do go back to his time as a young priest. Cardinal Pell firing back this morning, criticising what he calls a relentless character assassination, adding the whole idea of sexual abuse is abhorrent to me. Now, in his official statement, he says he's looking forward to his day in court and will defend the charges vigorously. Police have instructed him to appear in court on July 19th. As a member of the Pope's inner circle, this is potentially the biggest scandal to have faced the current papacy. But Pope Francis has indicated his support and given Cardinal Pell leave in order to return to Australia and face trial. Robin?
And James, the Pope has asked everyone, including the media, to withhold judgment right now. But this is a big test for the Pope.
That's right. Pope Francis' reaction to all this is going to be under huge scrutiny. He set up a child sex abuse committee, but many just feel that the Vatican has not done enough to deal with this problem. The world will be watching. Robin?
Well, all right, James, thanks.
Hey, Robin, thanks. And we're following several stories out of Washington this morning. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell trying to reach consensus on a new version of Obamacare repeal by tomorrow, hoping for a vote after the July 4th break, but few signs yet that he's picking up the support he needs. House set to vote on 2 new bills today, pushed by President Trump to strengthen immigration laws. Tonight, President Trump will hold his first meeting with South Korea's president at the White House, how to deal with North Korea at the top of their agenda. And there are new developments in the Russia investigation. ABC News has learned that one of President Trump's closest personal aides is now facing questions. Our senior White House correspondent Cecilia Vega here with the details. Good morning, Cecilia.
Hi, George. Good morning to you. This Russia probe is widening. Investigators are now looking at the president's inner circle. And as you said, one of the people that they now want to talk to is one of the president's closest aides. He is President Trump's longtime former bodyguard turned top White House aide. With such close ties, he has an office right next to the Oval Office. And this morning, ABC News has learned Keith Schiller is now on the list of witnesses that House Intelligence Committee investigators want to talk to as part of their probe into possible ties between Team Trump and the Russians. Schiller did not respond to a request for comment, but sources close to the investigation tell ABC News people on that witness list have been notified. Schiller has known President Trump for nearly 2 decades, a former New York City police officer who is now director of Oval Office operations, the president assigning him such tasks as hand-delivering the letter to FBI headquarters that told former director James Comey he'd been fired. He is rarely heard from publicly, but he is nearly always by the president's side, known for being fiercely protective. During the campaign, Schiller was seen hitting a protester outside Trump Tower. And he was at the center of this now infamous moment.
Excuse me, sit down. You weren't called. Sit down. Sit down.
I have the right to ask the question.
After just a look from his boss, it was Schiller who ushered Univision anchor Jorge Ramos out of that news conference.
Don't touch me, sir. Don't touch me, sir.
Now, one White House official here tells me that they're not surprised to learn that Schiller's name was on this list. In fact, several White House officials here expect that their names could end up on this list too, George, as this Russia probe continues.
Do we have any idea who those officials will be?
Well, George, we're learning a little bit more as this investigation moves forward. We know that investigators want to talk to, for example, the president's son-in-law, Jared Kushner. We know that they want to talk to his longtime friend and former political advisor, Roger Stone. This is essentially a witness list. That's what this is. And as this investigation moves forward, more names are being added to it, George.
You would expect it to get wider. Okay, Cecilia, thanks very much.
And George, more now on the health care showdown. The Senate scrambling to draft a new version of the bill by tomorrow before leaving for the July 4th recess. President Trump is predicting a great result. Mary Bruce is tracking it all for us again on Capitol Hill. Good morning, Mary.
Good morning, Robin. Well, Republican leader Mitch McConnell is hoping to have a revised version of his health care bill by tomorrow. But this morning, it's still unclear what parts of the bill are being tweaked and whether this will be enough to turn some of those no votes into yeses. Overnight, the president got a harsh greeting as he arrived at his D.C. hotel.
Our democracy is not for sale!
Where he dropped by a fundraiser for his re-election campaign. But as he eyes 4 more years, that signature promise of his first term to repeal and replace Obamacare is stalled on Capitol Hill.
Healthcare is working along very well.
Republican leaders are still optimistic, but still facing opposition from within. At least 9 Senate Republicans are opposed to the current bill, not to mention all of the Senate Democrats. But that's not stopping the president from predicting a surprise victory.
We could have a big surprise with a great health care package. So now they're happy.
What do you mean by big surprise, sir?
I think you're going to have a great surprise. It's going to be great.
Now, the real surprise here would actually be if Republicans are able to pull this off. GOP senators I've talked with who are still opposed or on the fence say they don't know if they can get this done. And if they can't, well, there's some growing talk up here of the B word, that they may have to finally do a bipartisan deal. Robin.
All right. And also, of course, the president is focusing on his travel ban. We know that parts of it will go into effect today.
Yeah, that's right, Robin. Parts of the president's travel ban will finally be going into effect today. It comes after the Supreme Court earlier this week finally upheld some parts of this ban.
All right, Mary, thank you.
Okay, let's get more on all this from our chief White House correspondent, John Carlin. John, let's begin with that Russia investigation, now reaching deeper and wider into the White House. And this is still very much the beginning as it continues to grow much more difficult for the White House to wall off the investigation from the rest of their work.
And it's cast a shadow over the entire West Wing. The fact that Schiller is now on that witness list is a reminder that virtually all of the president's senior aides at some point are going to be touched by this investigation. Even those who aren't even accused of any wrongdoing whatsoever will have to come in, testify. That means it's going to take time, a distraction, and, George, legal bills, lots of legal bills. So a shadow not just over the current senior staff, but also those that they want to bring in who are having second thoughts about whether or not they want to be dragged into this.
Yeah, I lived through that in the 90s. Even when you're just a witness, it costs you a fair amount of money. It could be even tens of thousands of dollars. Let's talk about health care right now. A lot of new polls coming out this morning showing just how weak that Senate bill is. Well, I want to put a couple of them up right now. 3 new polls this morning, all showing support for the Republicans' health care plan, all under 20%. One as low as 12, according to USA Today. Is going to make Mitch McConnell's job so much more difficult.
Absolutely, and another recent poll from Fox News, which has the number a little bit higher at 27% approval rating for the Republican plan. But look at this, George. 52%, a majority of the country now saying in that Fox News poll that they view Obamacare positively. So it's a tough political environment here. They still believe they have a chance to get this passed, but they really need to come to an agreement, at least in the outlines of what the bill will finally be, to get those wavering Republicans on board by tomorrow.
President promising a big surprise. Any idea what he's talking about?
I think the surprise he's talking about is winning, is victory on this bill, getting this bill passed in the Senate. And, George, at this point, that would be a surprise.
That would be a surprise. Meantime, the president is meeting with the South Korean president tonight. It comes as his national security advisor is suggesting that the president asked him to draw up new military options to take on North Korea.
That's right. The president himself has asked for the options, and it's a much more difficult challenge now because the North Koreans, as their missile program has advanced, they can now launch missiles with a much shorter setup, so there's much less time to react. So what the president has told his national security team is that he wants a new set of options, including military options, which they, of course, hope it will never come to because there are no really, there is no good military option on the Korean Peninsula.
None at all. Okay, John Carl, thanks very much.
And, George, we have more now on the new security measures affecting thousands of flights heading to the U.S. The Department of Homeland Security announcing enhanced screening for passengers and electronics. ABC's David Curley has the details. And, David, this morning the airlines are warning this could, of course, lead to significant delays.
They're talking about that and actually how much it's going to cost as well, Robin. This is all about terrorists who have learned how to put explosives in electronic devices and sneak them through security. The U.S. was considering expanding the laptop ban. Instead, they're requiring much tighter security from any airline that wants to fly into the U.S.
Overnight, airlines grumbling about the new, stricter screening requirements the U.S. is demanding for any jet headed to America. Passengers will see more dog units, explosive swabbing, and new high-tech scanning machines in foreign airports. The fear? Terrorists have learned to hide explosives in electronic devices. We saw it in Africa, a hole blown into the side of a jet.
Our enemies are constantly working to find new methods for disguising explosives, recruiting insiders, and hijacking aircraft.
The U.S. is basically setting a new global standard for airport screening, rather than expanding that laptop ban on 8 Middle Eastern and African nations. So this enhanced screening will have to be used by every airline flying to the U.S. That covers 280 airports, 180 airlines, 2,000 flights, and 325,000 passengers a day.
Al-Qaeda and ISIS bomb makers have spent considerable time seeking to better understand airport security and find ways to build bombs that can get past it.
While the International Airline Association hopes to minimize the cost to airlines, the U.S. Airline Association says there should have been more consultation to avoid operational disruptions, which it says are likely.
Now, the airlines are being given a few weeks to implement some of these new restrictions and a few months for others. They're kind of complaining it's a very short timeline, Robin.
Well, what about the laptop ban that's already in effect at some airports?
Yeah, the DHS, Homeland Security, is saying that if those airlines and those airports can meet these new higher standards, they're actually going to lift the laptop ban on those airports and airlines.
Interesting. All right, David, thank you. We're going to turn now to an investigation into what set off an explosion at a college dorm in Kentucky. As you can see, much of the building at Murray State University was gutted. A university employee who was injured is thankfully in stable condition. No students were inside because it's summer break. Authorities say a preliminary investigation indicates a gas leak may be to blame, but they're investigating whether foul play was involved, George.
Okay, Rob, we're going to move on now to a major development in that case that made national headlines last year when armed protesters occupied a national wildlife refuge. An FBI agent is now facing charges accused of lying about the deadly encounter. ABC's Clayton Sandell is in Denver with the story. Good morning, Clayton.
Hey, good morning, George. This morning, the FBI tells us that agent is no longer working on the Bureau's elite hostage rescue team. He's been reassigned after a shooting he says didn't happen. This morning, an alleged lie and an FBI agent facing criminal charges.
You want my blood on your hands?
Stemming from this attempt to arrest militia leader Robert Lavoy Finicum last year during a takeover at an Oregon wildlife refuge.
They're shooting.
Finicum and his passengers flee, then nearly hit a police roadblock.
Hang on.
That's when investigators say FBI agent W. Joseph Astorita fires twice, missing Finicum as he gets out, his hands up, a bullet tearing through the truck. But Astorita, a member of the FBI's elite hostage rescue team, allegedly told investigators he never pulled the trigger.
The actions of the FBI HRT in this case damaged the integrity of the entire law enforcement profession, which makes me both disappointed and angry.
Seconds later, state troopers shot and killed Finicum, saying he reached for a gun. Finicum's wife says, "My husband was shot in the back 3 times and should have been afforded his own due process before they killed him."
The cover-up is worse than the crime because the agent would not have been prosecuted for taking a shot if he felt that that vehicle driven by Finicum was a danger to the public.
Now, what is still not clear is why Astorita allegedly lied. Prosecutors say that will come out in court. The agent faces 5 felony counts in all. He's pleaded not guilty. George.
5 counts. There were other members of the team, Clayton. What's going on with them?
Yeah, that's right. There were 4 other members of the team who were there. The sheriff who investigated the case says the FBI told him that those agents were not disciplined. The sheriff says that is disappointing. George.
Okay, Clayton, thanks very much. I want to go back to Rob now for more on those conditions fueling the wildfires out west.
And George, all those lush hillsides from all that rain this past winter across the west now is dried out, and that is fuel for the fires. We are way above average, 2.7 million acres burned so far, and we have fires breaking out yesterday across Southern California, Orange County, the hillsides there near Camp Pendleton. We had one in Burbank as well, so it's a dangerous situation out there. Several fires burning across several states, and red flag warnings, especially for the interior west, and even some heat advisories, although not the record-breaking heat that we saw last week. Your local forecast is 30 seconds away, but first, your Stormy City is brought to you by Walmart.
All I do is win, 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 no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up. And they stay there, and they say yeah, and they say there. Cause all I do is win, win, win. And if you going in, put your hands in the air, make them stay there. All I do is win, win.
Well, we are just getting started today with some heat and humidity. It's day 1 of a heat wave for our area. 90 degrees this afternoon, lots of sunshine. You'll notice a bit more humidity in the area. That will continue to climb. Your highest and hottest day on Saturday with our best chance of storms. It's a 50% chance for thunderstorms to roll through our area on Saturday, but an isolated threat we could have on Tuesday. That is, of course, the 4th of July weekend. Heat continues into next week.
Coming up, a former NFL star's stunning confession, how losing his millions almost drove him to murder. That phone call that stopped him just in time.
Fast and Furious star Michelle Rodriguez threatening to leave the franchise in the dust. We'll tell you why.
Plus, the shock of a lifetime. Can you imagine finding this in your garage? We'll tell you what a woman did when she did.
At King's Hawaiian, we believe that when great food and laughs are shared with others, life's just more fun. And who better to share it with than those closest to us, our neighbors. So, pull the grill out front, America. Be sure to have plenty of